And back into game we go. Newbee up against EHOME here in this best of 3, the lower bracket final. The victor of this series goes up against RNG later on today in that best of 5. Y, Xinkyu, Faith Bian up top, the Lich, Tusk, and Bristleback playing up towards the Wizard Brew, who's going to be on that top lane for Newbee. AQ mid OD should be against the Nothing to Say Kunkka middle, and Mugi, it appears, is going to be heading down bottom on that Nature's Prophet with Faith and Wai Shi, the Nyx Assassin, and Winter Wyvern, and of course the Sylar Anti-Mage, Tango's Fairy Fire, and an Orb of Venom early on the AM. Oh, and already Newbee have scouted out an Observer Ward mid. Nature's Prophet Treant realizes that there is some vision here, so they should be able to come and sentry that down in the next minute or so.
I would not be surprised if Newbee just keeps a tri-lane and pressures the anti-mage. Or they can just put Mugi down at the bottom lane, so he will put more pressure, denying more CS from anti-mage early on.
Well,
Range hero. One of the reasons why AM bought the Orb of Venom is so that he can dominate his lane with mana break, especially if he's playing against a melee hero. Let's say Brewmaster. If this is a matchup for him, Brewmaster 250 mana pool. You burn that in 6 hits.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. They spot out exactly where that Observer Ward mid is with really nice micro over the treants and kind of triangulating the position of the ward with the vision that they've got, or the vision that they know is there. So bot lane, Nyx and Prophet. You mentioned the tri-lane staying, and it will do so as Wai Shi on that Winter Wyvern. Not skilling anything up just yet, but Arctic Burn should be coming, and maybe a play onto Y's Lich, who is already stepping pretty far forward. They're just blocking camps, it looks like, though. Make sure there's no pulls or stacks or anything to reset this lane equilibrium, so that puts pressure on Silo, who has to deal with the Prophet kind of 1v1. Blocking up both camps, getting a good stun in. Sylar yet to level anything, holding onto that blink, which he does need, as the tag team from Xinkyu zones away the Wyvern. So far, so good from Newbee, forcing the tri-lane versus tri-lane, and Sylar starting to struggle already.
My thanks to thee.
These are 2 range heroes against only 1 with Orb of Venom. Sorry, with Blightstone. So there's going to be a lot of harassment on the bottom lane, and they don't have headdress.
Oh, you're right. They've got Boots Tusk, Mangoes on Lich. That is sad times for that bottom lane. So Faith Bian in a 1v1 against the Brew. Pretty even farm so far. Wizard burning through a lot of his regen, but should be able to bring out plenty more in that straight 1v1 matchup. Then it also leaves OD against Kunkka, which used to be super heavily OD favored, and I assume it still is. But how bad is this for Kunkka now?
Kunkka so far doing a good job. He can harass OD, but OD will bring enough regen to this lane to sustain. But once OD gets level 4...
Faith is about to drop. First blood goes the way of Y. Really nice shards in there. Faith stepping just a little bit too far forward, and there we see the power of the Blink Frost Shield, the gap close with the slow, and tons of damage from EHOME.
Wyvern is not really a hero that shines in a tri-lane. Kind of reminds me of the Disruptor, and why 2, 3, 4 years ago, every single time there was a Disruptor pick, you just wanted to tri-lane against him because hero was extremely weak. What he brings to this lane, 41 damage level 1. Then he uses Arctic Burn for 50 seconds. He does nothing, absolutely.
At the very least, he's got a headdress, so he's a regen bot whenever that Arctic Burn is down. Top lane seems like Bristleback has started to get the upper hand. Wizard only having gotten that stick very recently. So Faith Bian's pressure with the Soul Ring spamming out Quill Sprays, doing a great job there, and they've transitioned Mugi.
Yeah, we lost this tri-lane, guys. Let's swap.
But this doesn't feel amazing either. This Bristleback has Soul Ring, very nearly has Ring of Health for the HP sustain as well. Can they just profit without... Oh, he has Wand, okay. But can they just profit still stick here? He could get dived by this Bristle quite easily in the next minute or so.
I don't think Bristle will get a kill in this lane. He just wants to farm up get... Okay, he already has that ring, so a lot of sustain. There's no point in harassing him. And the bottom lane for EHOME is successful. Like, once Tusk hits level 3, there's a ton of kill potential. And this is the rotation that we mentioned, 4-minute mark. Kunkka has a bottle and a double damage. So far, Kunkka doing really good job.
Yeah, beating the OD in farm. AQ having a few problems there. And that's that double damage rune for the Kunkka you mentioned. As Newbee continue tri-laning the anti-mage, now around the Brewmaster instead of the Nature's Prophet. And Mugi loses his courier. There's a dive from Faith Beyond. He is taking a pretty hefty number of punches from the Nature's Prophet, but a swift TP home gets him out safe and sound. Mid lane rotation in, 6 shards. AQ trapped inside, but the Gold Embrace rotation from YShi has nothing to say, looking for this double damage rune cleave to clear up the kill on OD.
That's just way too much damage.
Nothing he could do there.
Why is she? Oh, that one was close. If he connected the torrent, Winter Wyvern dies.
Yeah, 300 else.
Boundary rune spawning. And also Kunkka will hit level 6 before OD. So I want to see rotation from Tusk. If there is Astral used offensively, they should easily get a kill.
So how did we see the trade there? Why? Nothing to say, getting one apiece. Mugi and Faith also getting a bounty rune, but it's also bottle refill for Kunkka. And he has hit level 6, like you were mentioning. That potential always going to be there now, and especially when Astral's used aggressively like that. We could see, if Kunkka can get into range, the X-Boat just come out immediately. Holding it for now, and Winter Wyvern is lurking behind in that mid lane. Looking to save the OD, but it opens up bottom now, a 2v2. And I think we both agree Tusk's rotating feels much more powerful than Winter Wyvern reacting.
And this is it. This is what I just said. If he gets the X mark, it should be a kill on OD. But the Wyvern also understand if Tusk is missing. Oh man, what a play from Jin-Q. Uses a snowball, dodges a stun, and then picks up an Invis rune. So if there's no sentry on a mid lane, this OD should be careful, which means that the Wyvern needs to stick around mid until Tusk shows up.
Why she swinging bottom, TPing bottom as Wizard in trouble. Brewmaster dropping low, does pop his wand, turns to fight Sylar, who doesn't have Blink. Stick and Fairy Fire ready, and he might be able to jump himself out of this barely. Fairy Fire now Blink away. Sylar doesn't make it out.
Mugi gets him.
So close. How did Mugi get it?
Prophet with the ulti.
Damn. Okay, global power.
He just hit level 6.
Very
mid lane,
tight. Now TP's bottom. Mugi wants another kill. They've come in for the Lich. Good stunt. Find the pick off and punish this bottom lane.
Look at the vision around the mid lane. They really want to get a kill on this OD. OD is prepared for Kunkka's combo, but Raindrops and the Fairy Fire pretty smart, so he just wants to keep himself alive. First tier 1 item starting to drop. Trust shovel for Bristle.
And Brewmaster is now mid lane. Fair enough, I guess. Primal split at the ready, so still looking for this counterplay up against the Kunkka Tusk, who have been so oppressive coming in towards that OD. And Bristleback, what are we now? Vanguard, Soul Ring. He's got a courier bringing boots out as well. 66 CS. Big man Bristle, Faith Beyond getting the job done. Kunkka second in farm. How does that translate into net worth? Nature's Prophet actually up at the top, I guess thanks to the kills he's had, especially the one on the AM. So 3,800 on him, but the big gaps do start to become apparent. As Anti-Mage picking up the rear there. Oh, bottom rune, Jin-Q, Snowball. Illusion top for the Kunkka. OD still thinking to continue this. Tusk very low, and they've got Sanity's Eclipse after this Astral if need be. But with YShi coming in, looks like it should just be the punches required from Newbee. But the shards! Now they need the ulti. Very well played, forcing that Sanity's Eclipse, which Aki would have loved to hold on for a little bit longer.
We still have not seen Kunkka using his combo, even though he hit early level 6. Bottom lane, Faith Beyond trying to force Brewmaster to use the split. 6 stacks of Quill Spray.
In comes Faith, and now the Primal split. But Bristleback is so damn tanky. I mean, what do you do up against this guy? You brought 4 heroes down
I
here.
don't think you kill him here. He might get a return kill easy.
You've got to run away. Oh my goodness gracious me. They've got a Cyclone, but yeah, they've okay. They've popped Primal Split, and they're just like, right, 4 heroes versus 1. Faith Bian is unkillable at this point. Leave him alone, boys. Let's go somewhere else. Back into the jungle, OD. My dear God.
And I've seen Fate Beyond going for this kind of a build whenever he plays these tanky offlaner that builds into auras. I think it was also Bristleback. Then he buys a magic wand, like at 15-minute mark. It's such a valuable item on Bristle.
He is so big. Where's Nature's Prophet heading? So Orchid about halfway complete for Mugi. Anti-Mage building up his net worth little by little. Siler's getting there, 3,200, as he has that Battle Fury queued. Of course, as we close in on 10 minutes, bounty runes are coming. And here comes an X-Torrent onto the Faith Nyx Assassin. Does land his Impale. AM's going to come swinging in, looking for a kill though, as the poor little bug will get zapped down by the Mana Void. Bounty runes gathered up as well, but the double damage bottom not going to be in the hands of the Kunkka, as Y is caught out down at the bottom rune spot. Faith Bian still going for these stacks of quill sprays and nasal goo. Mugi does have a TP scroll, so would have been able to get out of there regardless. Just going to sprout back Faith Bian, as his hood is pretty much complete now. If he was unkillable before, what is he now?
Double unkillable, I don't know, Gary, but I know that they really can't touch this Bristleback.
It's ridiculous.
He's gonna have a free game for another like 15 minutes until OD starts to get the points in Arcane Orb, but even then it's not gonna be that efficient. It is pure damage. He also does not need to care about Sanity's Eclipse magical damage. He's way too tanky.
OD with a Blink Dagger queued up. That's quite an interesting first item. And it does show that Newbee are kind of adapting and realizing that their lack of catch, and you mentioned the kind of backline stabbing abilities, not perfect. As Faith top lane, that's the second Mana Void in a row on the Nyx Assassin, and Sylar now 2-1-1, very swiftly making his way up the net worth chart.
You talked about item adjustments in this game. Kunkka decides to go for Shadowblade, so they have a hero that can actually gank right now. It's so hard when the laning stage is done. Like, how do you make a gank going on? Tusk can, yeah, you can use a snowball, try to make stuff happen, but it's not that easy to execute. So I'm a big fan of this Shadowblade.
Faith Bian, who's in between tier 1, tier 2 mid lane, knowing AQ has already used Astral, just chasing him out of his own jungle camps.
So, exactly what I just said. Fate Beyond finishes full Vanguard and Hood, then buys a magic wand.
There it is. And now onto the tier 1s, systematically removing them from the map. Bot, top, now into mid. EHOME really full control of this game with a 5,000 net worth lead. 12 minutes in. Prophet's Orchid is a couple of hundred gold away, that's great. Winter Wyvern has a Meteor Hammer queued up for that additional lockdown. And it
it's
looks
just
like
that they lack tower damage going for these like early items. This was the plan, I guess, so they can group up with the fast Orchid on Mugi, pressure the AM, get the kills, but seems like the game is just falling apart from them.
And here comes Kunkka, immediately removing the sentry ward, so they still have vision over the Nyx Assassin if he does come in. And Newbee just have to TP out and away. Wizard on the brew, has the Primal Split level 1 ready, but he couldn't shove tier 1 bot. Even though he's moving into mid, Faith Bian is just playing so aggressively into this triangle and mid lane area, so there's... He actively removes, what, 3 or 4 jungle camps and a lane away from Newbee. So like a third of the farm on the map is just gone because the Bristleback has plopped in. Oh, hello, AM's died. There's the Orchid reveal. That's my bad. I just saw him fall flat on his face.
That's the biggest kill they could get. Perfectly executed.
For mid lane now. Boat X with a torrent to start things off onto YShe. They get something in return, at the very least. And in the back, they've got a snowball towards Faith. Carapace already down. And Nothing to Say gets himself a double.
Okay, this ward is being pinged out, so that means it should get removed. Ah, barely catches it.
Oh,
I
Nothing
thought
to
they were
Say.
gonna give it to AM.
Orchid.
Bristleback is just unkillable, sorry Gary, at the
Moogie.
moment. And
Oh, close.
was X-Mark ready?
He was silent stop. It came off just as the TP finished.
Because I was watching the mid lane. There's no way Bristleback dies in this game.
Now you've said that. You know he's...
Okay, let's wait for another 30 seconds so Bristleback dies, buys back, and dies once again.
Yep. Always got that caster's curse. Right, they're setting up top lane again. Waiting for Sylar to blink down towards the jungle camp. They know exactly where he is. Sentry Ward is here, and Faith doing an exceptional job skirting around it. He's... Oh, silence. Yep, okay, Sprout, but he's cut through. Stun comes out from the next assassin, but I think Sylar's going to escape this now. They didn't get it perfect. And that's what it needs to be. Spot on perfect or nothing at all. AQ in the mid lane. Again, just being hunted by Faith Bian. Shards into Snowball, beautifully set up by Xingqiu. A Winter's Curse will try and buy some time and turn it around onto the Tusk as the Nature's Wrath and a blink out from AQ saves his life as Wizard. Primal split and kills off two supports. They've got a silence on the Bristleback now. Chain stun him up a little bit. But, yeah, Lacoste, it doesn't seem like Faith Bian's too bothered by this, honestly. Cyclone him, chain stun him. You're not damaging him, though.
Even if you break him with Vendetta, he's still not gonna die in those 4 seconds. He's just way too tanky. But nicely done from Newbee. That Wyvern ulti saved OD, which is a bit kind of a big deal. OD lacks farm in this game. Not sure if Blink Dagger was the best choice. It's not like EHOME has any kind of great initiators besides Kunkka's Shadowblade. I guess it's just more of taking care of yourself, so you can always have ability to blink out. Yeah. I'm just watching Bristleback. I don't care about anything else in this game.
Oh,
watching Bristol put the pressure on the towers, stealing their jungle camps, creating space for AM. That's a full Battle Fury for AM.
Oh, and Ring of Aquila straight away. He loves that. AQ back into the axe, yeah. I think Astral Blink, it's nice and all. It gets you out of the initiation from this Tusk. There's still a decent amount of ways to deal with that, right? You know, Torrent, Boat, Frost Shield to cancel Blink and all this stuff. Moogie.
One of the reasons why I'm not a fan of Brewmaster in general is you relying so heavily on getting stuff done with your Primal Split. Especially the first one. We saw that go on the Bristleback, where 4 heroes TP'd with the Primal Split, they couldn't even touch him.
Faith Bian, why are you casting Quill Spray? Well, there's the ward gone. Moogie, unable to do anything down there. Straight into Bloodthorn. Kunkka, Shadowblade, Halberd, they're so big. 8,000 net worth lead. And Anti-Mage isn't even your top farmer. And, like, AM is like the backup plan. They've got 4 heroes. It's like 4v5. So, you know, you say it's a free game for AM, but he doesn't even need to be in the game, it feels like.
He doesn't care, like, if he dies once or twice. It's not that big of a deal since they don't have a better late game.
Well, top at the outpost. Faith Bian stacking up the goo onto Faith. He's got 1 Vendetta and no reveal here from the Bristleback, trying his best just to try and catch the Nyx, even through the invis. Now, Fate's come out of Vendetta, and they're trying to focus the Bristle, but Boat Torrent in onto OD. Shred AQ, and he's got Astral Blink ready again to buy himself a little more space to retreat. As a Winter's Curse is good towards Kunkka, but Nothing to Say is tanky. Meteor Hammer connecting, but Snowball forward. Xingqiu arrives on the scene of the crime to punch up the OD, but there's not the follow-through that they required, and Kunkka does drop as 2 kills there for Newbee. Gathered up, and they're going to get the Bristle back. Is he going to die? There's no Sanity's Eclipse. There's another Astral in a second, and Y here with the Frost Shield and the Chain Frost. Jumping from AQ, very aggressive. He's got big damage, rips through Y's HP pool, and Faith Pian is still going. That Chain Frost keeps on bouncing. Finally it ends, and another silence in from Moogie. Sprout him up,
Go,
kill the
go.
Bristleback, do something to kill him. Another Astral, I don't know, man. He's got himself a hood in a couple of seconds, but he's finally fallen. 19 minutes in, Faith Pian's first death of the game as Newbee claim how many? 4 kills. Looking all right around that outpost. And now you're glad you've got an AM in the game.
That's how you kill him. I mean, they need to isolate him. You could see what OD was doing. Every single time Astral is ready, uses it on Bristleback. Surprised that AM didn't join that fight. I guess he was just afraid of being silenced by Nature's Prophet and dying, not doing anything. Nature's Prophet, what a build, going for full Bloodthorn. That's one way of deal with the Bristleback if you have 5 heroes left and he's alone. So there's going to be a lot of red numbers.
It's pretty sick, honestly. And this Arcane Orb, of course, 2 points up in it now, proving incredibly vital against the Bristleback. But AM closing into that Manta style, and Roshan always available here for EHOME as this level 3 nasal goo gets them into the pit. Get the Aegis up on the AM. They'll have Pipe pretty much done on the Bristleback as well for that extra teamfight sustain. As Newbee can't do anything here to defend the Roche. Immediate Aegis onto Sylar. Back to farming in the jungle he goes, but they are grouping up around him top lane.
There's an Imclaw on EHOME, and Kanka's not picking it up. I really love Faded Brooch as an item, one of my favorite tier 1 items. But still, having a guaranteed crit on Kanka, I think he should get that one.
Philosopher's Stone on Lich. How are the Dire doing neutral item-wise? Got themselves Dragon Scale, Philosopher's Stone, Nyx Assassin. Nice little Pupil's Gift on the OD.
Well,
No one taking
Laney,
the...
you missed that one.
Oh, dearie me.
Thou art dead.
That's my fault. I was looking at
900
neutral
gold for
items.
Sylar.
Jeez Louise, was that Moogie's
Thank
first
you, Ice
death?
Frog.
7, 1, and 2 on the Prophet. How much XP did he get there? What? He got 1300 XP on the AM as well, you know. 1.3k on the Tusk. That's like 2 levels.
Thank you, Ice Frog, once again. Well, Anti-Mage will hit level 20 soon. Having less cooldown on Blink is gonna be like vital for him joining fights.
Oh,
And also increasing your farm potential.
they want this OD. AQ having his mana burnt, but he's astraled the AM and not himself, so Faith Pian can still give chase, and the shards block off the escape, so down goes AQ. And why is she unable to get a Winter's Curse in there? And with all the lanes pushing in, oh, double damage rune top. If Kunkka grabs that, they could go and make some big plays on this dire side of the map, take down that final tier 2 bottom lane, and set themselves up. I mean, not even like they don't even need to go high ground here, but they could poke and prod at a tier 3, but it just feels like they want to get Sylar to like a BKB next or something, right? Basher into BKB?
I feel like Basher is much better. He has ways of protecting himself with the Manta style at the moment, and still Aegis up and running for another 2.5 minutes.
There goes that building. Top lane, they want to make a play on Moogie. Snowball punch, Sylar forward with a Manta. Moogie gets the Bloodthorn out onto an illusion. Second death in a row for Moogie as he tries to push out these lanes, and it's, you know, it's desperate moves in desperate times, honestly, from the Dire side. Can't really blame them.
Like, if you check the scoreboard, Bristleback has 0-1 to score. But he did so much this game.
And that's why, kids, in your pubs, don't blame people for KDAs. Faith, 0, 5, and 7. Not having such a hot time on this Nyx, but we knew it would be hard. You know, a lot rested on the shoulders of this Nyx, finding kills, landing stuns, The draft from Newbee just not great, honestly.
We've seen Newbee in a couple of those games where they managed to make a great comeback.
Oh, the dive in the
but
tier
they can't beat
4s.
heroes.
YShe does get a cold embrace, and AQ with a save. Jin-Q falls under the tier 4, and now Faith Bian might be in trouble, but has a Frost Shield wand. He's stunned up and blown out of the map. As a Winter's Curse onto the AM with a Meteor Hammer to follow. Have they got a silence? Can they change stun the Sylar AM? Okay, it's Aegis. They remove that. He's got Counterspell Blink. Let's see. The stun not there from Faith. And again, these initiations need to be spot on perfect, but they get another banish as Anti-Mage still being chased. The jump away as Kunkka will just leave Y to die. One more Chain Frost in his dying breath as the tier 3 still stands.
That's one way to lose the game if you snowball into tier 4 towers. That was actually very weird from Jin-Q. What you can do is just slow siege by AM, get rid of the tower. You don't necessarily need to commit. There was still like a minute left on that Aegis bottom lane. This is a big kill if they can get it.
And it's a double damage rune Kunkka. As he go for one hit first, then he X into Torrent. He pops his own BKB. The boat is there. Make sure he doesn't get silenced up, but he's still trapped in the trees with no way to cut himself out. So Mugi just getting that sprout is enough to keep him alive. And Faith up on the front lines does get picked off as the result.
The seeds of fortune.
Mugi.
Telescope for EHOME, not the best item considering the heroes that they have. Like the cast range doesn't really do much. Reducing the scan cooldown, of course, is good.
Just under 3 minutes for the next Roshan. At least a fast spawn for it. So who are we seeing Telescope come out to? Enchanted Quiver for the Tusk. Lich with the Telescope, there it is. Philosopher's Stone in the stash. Sad, sad times. No more GPM for you, Frosty Man.
What he can do is keep both. Have Philosopher's Stone while he's not doing anything, and then swapping Telescope in during a fight.
Not doing it for now. Or is he? Oh, is it coming out? Yes, it is. He's listened to you, Lacoste.
I'm a smart guy sometimes, Gary.
You are. Luckily, the players have got you in their ears. Nothing to say. Invis under that bot wave. Nobody showing here as Newbee back in their base. It is bunker down and hold on. Hope for an EHOME dive or a smoke out aggressively. Newbee hunting for someone here. That's a BKB Kunkka that they're trying to run into. They do scout him, but he realizes there is vision. That Nature's Wrath hits him. Now, what's he up to? Torrent, maybe try and push out a wave, give a bit of vision. The stun connecting with the Meteor Hammer, but he gets his BKB off just in time, and in comes EHOME from the left-hand side. Blink forward from Sylar onto Wizard. Focus the Brew, so there's no primal split. Astral does keep him alive as YShe finally, that Winter's Curse onto Lich with the Orchid taking Y low, but Mugi has to focus the Lich, so this opens things up for Nothing to Say in Sylar to run rampant in the fight and clear through the Wyvern now as AQ. Both Astrals used, and Faith Bian just kind of saunters in like, hi, I'm a Bristleback. Yes, Cyclone me up. Go on then. You've killed my Lich, but we've got really 3 or 4 big cores here that you've got to contend with now.
Only position 5 died this game. This fight. And Sylar, he was kind of struggling to find Wyvern in a fight before he could get his spells off. And once again, Newbee with a lot of saves. They really love OD with the Aghanim Scepter. So you try to focus someone down. His positioning has been amazing in the previous fight.
AQ, not really dying either. But what does this mean now with Primal split down for 70 seconds and Newbee kind of losing out on this farm efficiency as EHOME spread the map, get the waves out. Get some D-wards going as well, Y clearing out the map. And a pretty long Roshan respawn. Feels decent for Newbee there.
Feels forever, man.
Yes, that's a long-ass time. That's just, you know, allowing Newbee to get back out. Maybe push tier 1 top lane, which is still alive, like 30 minutes in. AM is alone here, but they spot Wizard. His Helm Vlad's build. Moving into Assault Cuirass, so going pretty heavily into those auras. Sylar pops the Manta. Counterspell not going to get him out of the stun from Nyx, but the Snowball does keep him alive as the Winter's Curse from YShe beautifully placed on the AM and Chain Stun, but the Sanity Eclipse isn't big damage, really. It just burns a bit of mana now, and the Chain Frost has bounced through Faith. The BKBs from EHOME seem to have done the job. X-Mark back, drag the OD in, Self-Astral keeps him away from danger for a few seconds, and Newbee's buyback on the Wyvern will force EHOME to reset the fight again.
This was not a perfectly executed fight by both of the teams. Astral, I mean, Sanity's Eclipse did absolutely nothing. He had 0 charges on it.
Does it still burn mana? No, right?
It does not. It does not.
Yeah, my brain lagged a bit there.
Sometimes
I just saw it do no
adjust.
damage, and I was like, well, at least it'll burn some mana, right? Nope. I'm a dumbass. BKBs for EHOME. Absolutely massive here. That one on Sylar. Down to 8 seconds duration now. How are we looking buyback-wise? No buyback profit. Wyvern having expended. There's Nyx Assassin. 1 minute 30 seconds on cooldown. OD without one. But EHOME aren't, you know, forcing anything. They're not getting objectives. They haven't gone high ground yet. Or broken high ground yet. Tier 3 mid lane somehow still standing after that first push in.
Roche will spawn in 20. Even though it's a 17k lead for EHOME, Newbee can still fight back.
But for how long? Abyssal Blade for Anti-Mage is surely going to allow Sylar to jump in and secure, you know, a kill. If he's able to find that OD especially. A Lotus Orb for the Bristleback. And for the Tusk. So they're going multi-Lotus Orbs here. Against the Winter's Curse, the Astrals, of course. Everything from Newbee. Pretty single target focused. No BKB coming from OD, going instead for that Lincoln Sphere. As Roshan very quickly shredded. Aegis Anti-Mage, cheese on Kunkka. Now is it time to take that mid laner axe? They've jumped the Nyx, Faith. Abyssal Blade, but does get off the carapace, unfortunately under the Radiant Sentry. And dead with no buyback as his courier also falling.
Kunkka should X-Mark Anti-Mage so he can get the mana. He's level 25 with 50 seconds mana void cooldown. So that he can have that in a fight once again. Also, I want to see something like Scotty on AM. It's either Scotty or Butterfly right now, but Scotty gives you enough mana so you can use 2 mana voids in a fight.
Oh, he tried to TP. He's caught by Xingqiu. Silence comes out, 4 staff away, but the X-Mark boat perfect from nothing to say. OD dead for 75 seconds, no buyback. Oh, that could be the end of the game. Tier 3 down middle lane, and onto the barracks they go. AQ gone for over a minute. Mugi, I don't know what you can do here. He's going to TP top and maybe set up a fight around their top lane tier 3 as EHOME do shift up there. He's trying to sprout the tower and try and buy a bit of time here. But it looks like EHOME in a real cracking position to take this game now off the back of that 1 kill.
Come on, Newbee. Is this why you played this game for 30 minutes even though you were so far behind? They had a really nice movement from Nyx Assassin and Nature's Prophet getting the kills. And now the game just ends like this because OD does not have a buyback.
Anti-climax. Faith snowballed on. Good cold embrace, but Sylar just focusing buildings as Xingqiu creates space. The Wizard. Primal split, but there's the jump. Abyssal Blade on the Wyvern. YShe does have the Winter's Curse, but who's his target? Who do you go on? AM cycloned up, the Bristleback running around, doing whatever the hell he wants. Kunkka with 3,200 health. We'll leave that melee barracks to stand for now as they are chasing Y into the trees, but Wizard with the primal split ending, needed to fall back to his own high ground. But don't forget, Winter's Curse from YShi is still there. And AQ coming back into the land of the living. EHOME not pressing their luck. Even with Aegis on the AM, they are very, very methodical and systematic with the way they're playing this now.
They kind of threw the game when they were sieging the high ground with the first Aegis, so now they're being more cautious about it. There's no big items coming on side of Newbee. Full AC completed on Brewmaster. Okay, I guess that's the big one. Nature's Prophet building a Silver Edge, so breaking AM and Bristle. I don't think that's gonna help much, like if EHOME gets a good jump.
Kunkka, Spider Legs, Shadowblade, sprinting around the map very, very quickly. They've got mid lane naturally pushing in. This kind of opens them up to play off the high ground at that triangle. Going on to that bottom tier 3. Faith does get a stun on AM. Double Astral. But the Astral back onto the OD as that Lotus Orb comes into play. Allows AM to jump into the back, but the Cold Embrace back onto AQ as the Torrent Boat through onto OD and the Mana Void clears him up. But he's got buyback this time as Tusk towards Faith. Wizard just standing his ground, waiting for the Primal Split to come off cooldown. 5 seconds remaining. The Aegis will get popped here as Wizard clears up the first life of the AM. But it looks like EHOME in a pretty good position to keep Sylar going, even if Xinkyu falls. Oh, he's got a snowball. Oh, okay, animation a little bit glitched there, but he's out of danger. Blinks away, and Faith Beyond tanky enough to withstand the onslaught of Newbee. As high ground, yes, it is held, but they've expended so much to do so. EHOME still have a couple of BKBs, still have teamfight ultis ready. And Newbee with no buybacks whatsoever in a tough spot now.
AM used the BKB before Aegis, so he could not take a fight. After that, it's a full butterfly on him, so it's going to be much harder for them to deal with that. Yes, you have Bloodthorn, but there's a Lotus Orb on Bristleback, so he's going to mostly remove that. Also, there's a Lotus Orb on Tusk, so it's not going to be that efficient. Also, OD kind of hates to play against any evasion.
Absolutely.
AM on the hunt.
He sure is. Looking at, oh, he's got him as well. He's found Wizard. No buyback, I don't believe he has it. Going to be dead for quite some time, so no primal split, which he had held from the previous fight. And EHOME are already breaking tier 3 bottom lane, ready and waiting. The Bristleback walks himself up the ramp, takes down the tower.
Another Mana Void ready because of the Arcane Rune.
Oh, goody. Oh, goody. Sylar stunned up a little bit here. Still has the Lotus Orb up on him, and a snowball back forces Mugi to BKB. Winter's Curse catching only the Kunkka, and this makes sure that Sylar can go straight into backlines, but he doesn't find the target he was looking for. As Faith Beyond focusing buildings instead. Astrals being Lotused and counterspelled back, and another X mark, but a save from OD. I'm losing track of who's Astral. It's a who's. Now the punch in from Xinkyu. Faith, the dieback, it's not there. Glimmer Cape keeps him up and running, and Nyx Assassin back to Fountain we go. But mega creeps are coming because Sylar has focused down this final building top, and there is no response from Newbee. Jump in, looking for Mugi. That Glimmer Cape from YShi. It is every little helps. And EHOME get megas and run away.
AM needs mana, that's the problem. Like, you want to X-mark him versus Kunkka. Okay, I didn't X-mark him once. Okay, here it is. Pop some mangoes. Get back. Get the clarity running. Now it's time to end the game. Who has a buyback? No one on
Lich.
Newbee.
No, nobody except Lich. Lich is the only one in the game with a buyback right now. Go on, Y. Run in there and die. Buyback and come back into the fight. Who have they caught? Snowball. Keeping that Kunkka alive as the fight outside of the base from Newbee. Not going to pay off here. Faith falls. Astral It'll be there onto the Brewmaster, but he is incredibly low, and Wizard Primal split at the last second as Moogie can't deal with the Ghost Scepter from Y. The Winter's Curse is beautiful, and a Meteor Hammer on top. They just don't have the additional damage they require. And Y, his buyback, you gotta use it, man. Get yourself back into the battle. Come on, don't be a coward. 2 heroes down on Newbee's side. Moogie shadow blading and running away. While she AQ trying to hurricane back. Blink out as Sylar blinks forward. And who's this in the back? Okay, Moogie, he runs away and he wasn't a coward. He bravely ran away so he could turn and fight again. But GG is called. Newbee with 3 heroes down, and this anti-mage now unstoppable. 9-2 and 7 for Sylar. After the butterfly, there was really nothing Newbee could do to handle him.
One of the reasons why I wanted to see Slark and shift Nature's Prophet